Ollie, this development comes as the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is preparing to host multiple European leaders. Macron and Merz will all be in London for these peace talks. What's the status of things?
Yeah, so if we look back the last couple of days before we cast it forward, on Friday we had the White House and the Ukrainians basically saying that they had agreed to a framework for security arrangements. Again, sort of a broad and sweeping statement, I think, in order to give continued momentum to these conversations. And on Friday, you also had Friedrich Merz, who came here to Brussels to try to lobby the Belgians to try to get on board with the frozen assets. That was Friday. On Saturday, we understand Zelensky spoke with Witkoff and Kushner on the phone. And then we heard from Trump yesterday basically saying that he felt that Zelensky had not fully appraised the proposal yet. He was a little bit disappointed by that fact. We did hear that Zelensky was going to get a full briefing from the United States talks on Monday, when we're expecting him to meet with Macron, Starmer, and Merz a little bit later today in London. We should say that in terms of what the expectations are from that meeting with the Europeans, so far, whenever you've had these meetings, whenever you had coalition of the willing meetings, nothing really transformational has broken through. We are still also waiting to hear potentially from the Russians. They've been very much more guarded about this process than, say, the United States has, in terms of trying to promote some optimism about it. And then we should also say, and I think, Anna, this is the most important thing here in Europe, we basically are a week and a half away from that EU leaders meeting at the end of next week here in Brussels, which is really seen by many as a sort of last opportunity for the Europeans to make a decision on whether or not they're going to put pressure and move forward on those Russian assets. We should say that our reporting over the last couple of days suggests that the United States has actually put a lot of pressure on European leaders to not do so, because the U.S. wants to use those frozen assets within their own sort of framework and rubric.